FPL Gameweek 13 top transfers, guys. In this video we have a lot to cover. As usual, we'll be going through each and every single position, covering the top 3 best transfers to bring in for Gameweek 13. We will take a look at the wild card for Gameweek 13 and as well as the free hit as well, and we will also take a look at which are the teams with the best fixtures to give us a bit of context as to why we should be going for these picks. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, guys, a bit of housekeeping first. As you will see at the bottom, the announcement is here. The FPL Force app will be launching this Friday on the 28th of November, so I'm excited. If you want to get 50% off, you have to be a verified subscriber. The app will show you how to make sure that you are verified, but it is a bit of a process in just taking yourself, making your subscription public. I will have little clips on that whenever I show this, but nonetheless, everything that I show you in this video is basically from the FPL Force app, here to help you and guide you in making your decisions. So yeah, really excited about it. Yeah, as you can see, but let's get into it before I get all emotional and stuff. I feel like I'm just giving birth to a baby. But anyway, let's take a look at the top transfers. I'm going to start off with that. This is timestamped, so if you want to skip ahead to the best transfers in each and single position, you can take that out in the description below and any other place you want to jump in the actual video. Cool, this is going to be a long one, so let's get straight into it. Yeah, let's take a look at who's top right now, and that's Liverpool. I think it's been kind of hard holding on to Liverpool assets like Virgil van Dijk, as well as the fact that we moved to him. I say we as in like the general community, because that's essentially what happened when the question was Van Dijk or to move to another Arsenal defense. I think the answer here is really, look, keep him. Don't panic, because as you can see here, they're still at the top of the fixture table, and you need these type of fixtures to be able to turn things around. We know what Liverpool can do. We know, yes, fine, they're in this bad rut and, you know, they're up and down. They're basically not consistent, which in FPL, that's what you need, consistency. So look, if there's anybody and any upper team that can dig themselves out of this, it is a team with the caliber and players of Liverpool. So I think just keep them. They would start to make some differential picks if people decide to really start moving off of them, like Mo Salah, in all honesty, I think is really still a great option in terms of a huge differential. Man City comes up number 2 there. Not really a lot of picks there in terms of certainty, but them having really highly rotated this midweek also kind of gives you a hint as to like who should be playing this week. And I think that's what's going to be good about having the games coming up real quick and fast, is just being able to see like, okay, who did play, who didn't play, and keeping that in mind in order to be able to make decisions. But I think if you're going with the Man City picks, like O'Reilly's been one in a lot of people's mind, I think just have that backup, because you can't be certain, especially with a high fixture run that we're all going to be going into when it comes to the Christmas period as well. So Newcastle still got some good game weeks. They're just not great away, so it's really hard to kind of tell. They do have Tottenham and Bournemouth that's going to be at home. I think that's really great. Chelsea's, I think, is going to be a bit of a tricky one. So one asset there I think is fine. Arsenal 4th on the fixture ticker, but we all know them. They're really still good defensively, and even attacking wise, they're just not really good in terms of like scoring a lot of goals. But Tottenham was a very weird game, in all honesty. We thought it would be cagey, but they were just open for us. Bournemouth still showing up there in the top 10 really. I'm starting to ask questions as to whether or not to keep or sell Semenyo. I think if you are also questioning that, I myself wouldn't have played Semenyo in Sunderland. I don't feel like it's a great game, but I said this the other time, like the guy just got, you know, engaged, and I remember when Bowen got married, and at the end of the last season, the last international break, guy came back flying. So maybe Semenyo might come back doing the same thing, because in all honesty, you know, the Everton game at home is not bad. Chelsea is not bad in the sense of, you know, they the way Bournemouth play in terms of like huge turnarounds, transitions, and then Man United as well away is also starting to not look bad, and Burnley. So the fixtures, as you can see, being number 5, they're really not that bad. So there is a case to keep him. So yeah, it's not bad if you do decide to keep him. Plus, he's not going to AFCON as well, so that's another one as well. I think if you want to protect yourself in your rank, then yeah, definitely keep him. But if you want to go up against him, it's not a bad problem. Nottingham Forest at number 6 coming up. The guys are starting to look really good. Sean Dyche is doing a real good job. Someone who is actually a standout there for a cheapie is Anderson in the midfield. He's definitely a pick a lot of people are thinking about as well. I think Morgan Gibbs-White has also picked up his hand there as well. Igor Jesus, but a question as to whether or not, you know, he will be rotated. He'll be rotated when Wood comes back as well, but I think as long as he keeps performing the way he has, then yeah. So there are some assets there, and I think if you look at their fixtures, it's also not bad really. You know, I think Brighton at home is favorable, and then you go into a good run with Wolves. Everton at away might be tough, but I think Tottenham at home is also looking like a good fixture. So yeah, Brentford, of course, not the best fixtures, but surprised to see them just over Brighton here, because I think in the previous game week it had Brighton just over them. So I think that's why a lot of people are moving to Igor Thiago. So yeah, I think it's not a bad idea, but I still feel like Brighton's fixtures are much better if you ask me. But in terms of who to pick between the two, of course, it's between Danny Welbeck and Jesus. Of course, Jesus. And then you got Crystal Palace there. I don't think I'd go through the rest in all honesty. Man United in the mid there. So yeah, it's basically focusing on these teams, and when you do that, you'll in turn be, you know, targeting the teams that are at the bottom really of that fixture run. So yeah, let's move on to the wild card. The FPL Gameweek 13 wildcard is looking a lot more different than what we were expecting it to look like in the beginning of the season, when we were all gunning for this period to actually wildcard because Liverpool's fixtures turned. So let's take a look at the Gameweek 13 wildcard, which I put together for you guys. And in goals, we have Donnarumma, who has Leeds at home. They have good fixtures coming up with a pairing goalkeeper of Dubravka on the bench there. And then in the defense, I do have Munoz, who has been playing well. I feel like he is the pick for Crystal Palace in all honesty. Virgil van Dijk in there as well. I just having a Liverpool asset there, I just also feel like he's good in terms of certainty for minutes in this busy period. Plus I would like to get some of those clean sheet points when they do get them, hopefully. Of course, O'Reilly there, I think proven in terms of having minutes, but as I mentioned, you do need to have backup in all honesty, and that's what this team has in the back line, with Timber and Calafiori completing that five-man defense in this team. So I'm really happy with those picks in all honesty. I think Calafiori also adds a bit of a differential there pick. Yeah, and allows you to just still tap into Arsenal defense, which I still feel like we actually should be on that. So really happy with those picks. There's 0.2 left in the bank for this, with my value being at 102 million. So yeah, this is really affordable. In the midfield, I've got Sa, who has been blanking, and we are still waiting for his actual return. But I still feel like he's got good fixtures, playing at home against Man United. And funny enough, this would be one of those fixtures where he does return, apart from the ones where we expected him to actually return. So I think he's still a good pick to bring in. Declan Rice, another one, and I feel like he's a great set and forget in all honesty. So he would be my third Arsenal pick there if you're not looking to go for a goalkeeper and triple up in the defense, or if you want to go cheaper than Saka, which is what I did in all honesty, to be able to afford my next guy there, which is Mbeumo, who happy to have, even though he's going to AFCON. I still feel like it's not late. I think these guys, you can keep them up until game week 16 definitely. I think will be the last game week. I think game week 17 is when they'll definitely be out, but Mbeumo has great fixtures game week 14 and 15, so you are lining him up to be in those games there as well. Minte, I think, is the man of the month right now in terms of the hot property to get, also cheap at 6.1 at the moment. Wouldn't be surprised if he rose up again. And then I have Anderson from Nottingham Forest, who will be playing against Brentford as well at home. So I just wanted to go with this midfield that really plays as well, because of the busy fixture period. I think this team can just help you and carry you in terms of, you know, going long, and you know, you will be getting 5 free transfers in Game Week 16, so you can take out Mbeumo and Sa no problem and still have 3 free transfers, which is great. The forward line with Thiago, Haaland and Mateta, I think, just picks itself, in all honesty. Captaincy still on Haaland there, and he is still a good option for triple captaincy. So yeah, that makes the Game Week 13 wild card. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, but the Force has spoken. Remember that this is a team from the FPL Force, so if you're really struggling and always helping and needing to make decisions, then the app will be launching on Friday. Remember to be subscribed to the channel if you do want to get 50% off on that as well. And yeah, make sure you are on the socials as well to know when the actual app will be launching on Friday as well. So cool. Let's get in and see the, let's see the free hit.
Silence as the FPL Force brings wisdom. Now, to learn the ways of the Force, unlock your true potential, and rise to fantasy football mastery, you must subscribe. So, hit the subscribe button below and begin your journey to fantasy football mastery. May the green arrows be with you.
FPL Gameweek 13 free hit, a time in which it is favorable to free hit, but this all really depends on your team, in all honesty. And I'm in the balance still, and my free hit hasn't changed, in all honesty. So let's go through it. In goals, Donnarumma against Leeds United there, with Dubravka on the bench, of course, just being an enabler for us. I do have Coyote there, who is the set piece throwing man from Brentford. They are playing against Burnley at home, so also hoping to get an assist, an attacking return, as well as clean sheets there. Cash, the one man who I think we can really depend on in that actual Aston Villa defense, along with, of course, Martinez, if you want to go for a different option there in the goalkeeping department. And I think Flecken as well is a good option, but it really all depends on how you want to sort of sync up those defensive assets, those 4 defensive assets, because I assume we'll be playing 4 at the back. O'Reilly, an obvious pick for everybody. He's playing against Leeds, and I just wanted to double up there with Donnarumma, knowing that, like, I just want to know that in my free hit, I want banking clean sheets. Like these guys, I expect nothing but a clean sheet, you know, 6, 12, 18, 24 points. That's what I'm expecting, you know. And if I don't get it, then it would be like, okay, cool, you know, I see that mistake, or I see that penalty was given, and so on and so on. And I just feel like that's where we could get it. That's where you should be getting those defenses. Now, O'Reilly didn't play in the midweek, so it makes sense that he would play in this game, especially after Man City also lost with that huge, heavily rotated squad. So yeah, I think he's definitely going to play. He's one you can keep in this actual team. Then in the midfield, Mo Salah, you know, it's Mo Salah. I need not say anything. If there's ever a time, if ever a player who's in the mud that we know can get out of it, and when he does, we're gonna want a piece of him, it's Mo Salah. You know, so I'm not really. He's bad form? Yes, absolutely, yeah. But still, it's Salah. And he's playing against West Ham, who haven't necessarily been all that bad, but still a team we can somewhat target, in the sense that, yeah, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they do hit back at Liverpool the same way that Nottingham Forest did. And I think that's the downfall right now with Liverpool, and they're just unpredictable, in all honesty. Morgan Rogers, an obvious pick, of course. Not much to be said there. I think a lot of people were looking at him even before his brace. He was definitely going to be an option for this free hit team. Bruno Fernandes ahead of Mbuemo. Maybe that's the change that I could make over there. But I went for Bruno because I just felt like this game specifically, I wouldn't be surprised if Man United also were not good enough to perform. And that position there could be a number of people in that price bracket of a Foden, who I just don't feel like is good enough to be playing. Gakpo, I don't want to be doubling up on a team like Liverpool, and that's why I didn't go for him. Mbuemo, again, the reason why I went over with Bruno over him is because I feel like Bruno has more routes to points with the penalties, as well as having DEFCON on top of Mbuemo, and also being a bonus points monster. So I just feel like he's a security pick for this game, and I just, again, I can't find anybody else to be picking ahead of him. When I thought of this free hit, and I was just like, bro, I'm not gonna pick Dango Ouattara. I'm fine with just Kevin Schade, you know, and I'm not gonna be tripling up on him on Brentford anyway. So when you think about those picks that I just mentioned, I just feel like Bruno's way better. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comment section. Maybe there's somebody I'm not thinking of who I could be picking, but I've already got Minte in my squad. I'm not gonna pick Minte. You know, I'm not gonna pick Sa. I've got him in my squad. You know, but even if I had them in my squad, still that as much as Man United had a bad game in the previous game week, that game's still gonna be tricky for both the players, both teams. So look, if you want to go for a Sa, cool, go for him, but it's kind of not nice in the fact that he hasn't been returning. So it's like, you know, let me just go for Bruno, because I know if he blanks, the blank could be somewhat of like a 4-pointer, or if he just gets an assist, it could literally almost be like an 8-pointer. So yeah, Kevin Schade, not much to discuss, an obvious pick. Way much over Dango Ouattara, although Dango Ouattara has been the one really helping in terms of getting those penalties. I just feel like Kevin Schade is more secure for minutes, with Dango not necessarily looking all that secure. So being at the free hit, you want to make sure that these players play. So Kevin Schade is the obvious pick to go for. Frontline picks itself, some people are going with a 3-5-2. I just felt like I did not want to miss out on the goals and the Manchester United and Crystal Palace game, which I feel like would have goals, because Crystal Palace create. Mateta is underperforming, and he should be scoring, my man, scoring. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is one of those games where he just goes and gets a random hat-trick. And this is one of the things with the free hit, and why I'm leaning more so towards not playing it, because I just feel like the squad I've currently got has a piece of those games, and the games that they do have as well. I just feel like my current squad could match and maybe even outscore the free hit squad, or whatever free hit squad is made as well. So that's my conundrum right there, in all honesty. The bench really just has enablers with Malaysia, Heaven, and Devony as well. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Yeah, really interested to know who you think I should be thinking of as well, and if you have any questions, let me know. Now let's jump to the top forwards, mids, and defensive picks, as well as the captaincy picks for game week 13. FPL Gameweek 13 top forward transfers from the FPL Force. Number 1, we have Thiago, and I think it is of course obvious with his form as well as the fixture that he will be having. Also still good for a long term pick, just because of his goal scoring rate, and you know, his points per match 5.7 I think is really good as well. XG 0.67, really good. Also good for bonus points, as you can see on his radar. Goals, as I mentioned, yeah, high XG as well, and somewhat even underperforming it, if you can see. So I think there's still opportunity for him to even get more as well. So obvious pick there. He is ahead of the number 2 pick so far, but I just feel like it's so equal. I think you can go with either of the actual players. It's so split. Danny Welbeck, number 2. I feel like, again, his fixtures are way better, but the question again is whether or not he will be able to play all those fixtures, including the midweek game, which I believe he definitely will be able to, even in the Christmas period, if he continues with both the form as well as his as well as his goal scoring form. So yeah, great for bonus as well. Still also underperforming his he's overperforming actually his goals. So I think that's, you know, it just shows how much he's making of his chances, and even the ones that he doesn't necessarily get in terms of half chances. So yeah, still a great pick. Nottingham Forest, not so bad in all honesty, but I think it will be a tough fixture considering they don't play really great all that well away. But Aston Villa at home, West Ham at home, really great fixtures. Then number 3, really just to round it off in terms of if you're looking to bring in a striker this game week, you know, third option should be Mateta, because you should already have him considering his ownership at 30%. But if you don't, and you already have Thiago, or you don't want Welbeck, then you should have Mateta. So that's really where this pick is coming from. But yeah, let's jump on to the midfield picks for Game Week 13. FPL Gameweek 13 midfield transfers, top midfield transfers, and of course number 1 has to be the man himself, Mente, Yakuba Mente. Game Week 13 playing against Nottingham Forest. I think for him specifically as an individual, they will be wanting to make a real impact there and goals, and he's the one who's just assist, bro. Like, he's crazy. I think the highest assist, or FPL assist, comes from him. He's that player, as you can see there. Well, goals not necessarily, because he doesn't really get himself into those positions, but I think at 6 million or 6.1 for now, he might be rising in price just before the deadline again. It makes sense, you know. I think if he was scoring the goals as well, then you would be looking at like him being more so in the 7 million and above price point. So 6 million just for assists with these fixtures makes sense. Number 2, Morgan Gibbs White, even a close number 1, and I say this because the man has actually been performing, bro. I think he's scored or assisted in 3 consecutive games on the bounce. You can see his form there is at 8.7. So yeah, XG is low. That means he's not necessarily getting high chances, but we can't ignore the games that are also coming up along with his form. He's playing Brighton at home, and then Wolves and Everton, which I think is going to be favorable fixtures for them. Sean Dyche has seemed to turn things around there. So if you're looking for somebody who's a bit under the radar, 3.8 team selection selected by managers, I think he's a great pick, guys. There's your differential right there for the week. Number 3, for me, a set and forget pick here, not necessarily a must. I think Declan Rice for me is more so also just if you're looking for a player that you just want to set and forget, then it's him. You know, you can see their bonus DEFCON. He definitely gets it as well. His points per game, he just ticks along very nicely for you as well. In form as well, gets points here and there, so you don't have to worry about him, and also minutes as well. So yeah, I think he's just an excellent pick. Fixtures, Chelsea might not be the best entry point, but then after that I think it's great, you know. And even though it's Chelsea, the routes to points that he has with these free kicks, set pieces, and even being able to take shots, he's really highly involved even in the open play. That's where he's really getting his assists as well as his goal opportunities as well. So yeah, guys, I think you can definitely go for a Declan Rice there. Now let's take a look at the defensive picks as well. That will be the defenders and the goalkeepers. So FPL Gameweek 13 top defensive transfers. We'll do this one a lot more differently. We'll start off with the goalkeepers. Number 1, I think Donnarumma, of course, got some good fixtures coming up there, with Man City also being high in the fixture ticker. Number 2, we do have Dean Henderson, who might have a tough fixture now, but at least it's at home, and then you can see he's got Burnley and Fulham away, and I think if there is ever a team that can take care of themselves, it would be them. One thing to note, they would still have the midweek fixtures from Europe, so this is why I'm really more so looking at Donnarumma. But with him being 5.7, it makes sense that you would still want to go for a Henderson, who's a lot cheaper as well. And then if you're looking for a much more cheaper option, then Sal's as well as, you know, the Nottingham Forest guys, and this is what I just think, you know, this is what I feel in the Force, you know. So 4.7, I think they got the fixtures to get their clean sheets. For example, this home game, they just got a clean sheet against Liverpool, surprisingly. Wouldn't be surprised if they get what they get at home against Brighton, and then they've got Wolves as well. So you could be looking at 2 more clean sheets there, and then I think it's possible even against Everton. So yeah, definitely an option, but definitely option number 3 if you're looking for a goalkeeper transfer. I feel like these guys are definitely the ones you could be looking at. I mean, I think Raya is also in there if you want to, but like, he's even more than Donnarumma. I think 5.9, and you somewhat want to have, you know, a double up in Arsenal in the midfield rather than in the goalkeeping department, although he is a nice set and forget. But yeah, that's my opinion when it comes to the goalkeepers. In terms of the defense, O'Reilly number 1. I think definitely, as I mentioned, it's just having backup. That's all you got to do. Your defense has got to be stacked up. You got to have at least 4 defenders, and I think a rotation with Riley if you can as well. So that is possible, I think so, in my opinion. It's just about who you find, and maybe we can do that if you want to as well. Maybe we'll ask the FPL Force to see if we can find a rotation with Riley and see what works. Munoz number 2, the pick for Crystal Palace. Yeah, there's nothing else to be said. He's the highest scoring points defender in Crystal Palace now, after this past game week. Guehi is the other option, coming up right behind him also in price, because I mentioned that because Munoz has risen up to 5.9, which makes absolute sense, because he was a steal at the beginning of the season. Then if you want to go even cheaper, you do have Richards as well, but Munoz is really looking enticing in terms of the way he's getting up the pitch there and being able to get DEFCON now and then. So yeah, great option. Differential pick if you're looking to still find a double up in Arsenal, and you maybe want to move away from Virgil van Dijk, and you want to have instead of a Timber and Van Dijk, you want to have now a Timber and Calafiori, which is what I have. I actually have all 3, but I think that's actually still a good option. And as much as Chelsea has been looking really good, I think this game week, you know, Arsenal can get a clean sheet in all honesty against anybody. I think that's really possible, because they've just shown how good they are defensively. So he is also a bit low owned, I think 16-18%. So he gives you a bit of more cover there from Arsenal, as well as a bit of a differential pick. So yeah, that is it for the defense. Let us jump on to the captaincy picks, which, yeah, I think will be a lot more obvious for us this game week. The top captaincy picks for game week 13, I think an obvious one for this game week as well. Haaland, don't go left, don't go right, just go right for him, guys. And yeah, even a triple captain option. If you are a brave knight, thinking like an FPL Paddy one, and just with your emotions instead of like a proper engaged knight who knows exactly when to actually go against Haaland, Thiago could be also an option. You know, if you're free hitting and you really want to go differential and captain somebody, you could triple captain or captain Thiago. Sorry, I'm saying triple captain. You could captain Thiago. I mean, Burnley at home, I think they're not a team to really sit back on Brentford, so maybe Brentford could really catch them on those transitions. I wouldn't be going for a captaincy on Mo Salah, but I couldn't think of anybody else who, in all honesty, had a great fixture and, you know, is of captaincy caliber in terms of can do well. He is a midfielder, remember, he has those routes to points. So yeah, I just feel like Salah, again, if there's anything he could do it differently in this game and come back from the mud that he's been in as well. So yeah, that's what I think when it comes to captaincy, in all honesty. yeah. I think that's it really for the show today. I don't think there's anything else that we need to cover. It's been a long show, so let me know if you guys have any questions, dilemmas in your teams that we were not able to solve on this one. Remember, with the FPL Force launching on the 28th of November, be sure to also subscribe, and you can get 50% off when it drops as well. And yeah, here to help you, guide you in your FPL decisions. Please remember, hit that subscribe button and also like, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.